What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is here. First live stream in a bit, but listen, I just want to come on live and have a chat with people, see how things are going. The transfer window is open, people. It's open. Business can be done. Well, we've already done 2 bits of business already, so we're already ahead of the curve. But let's get some more done. Listen, I was going to come on earlier, but not going to lie, hay fever has been kicking my hiney all day long. So I don't know how I'm going to be for this one. I might stream from my eyes too, as well as online. But listen, as you're coming in or as you're watching the replay, please hit the like on the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and please share the video around. It's all good. Before I'd come on live as well now, what is it? 7 o'clock here, UK time. It's a good time just to come on. You know, I've been getting some requests to do some streams at some times. I'm not available. I got to say, I'm not available for these times. You know, some people are asking, I should be on with another Leeds content creator next week, but man, I've had some requests for 9 o'clock, people. Now, if you don't know what's on at 9, it's Love Island. You can't get me on the stream at 9, not while Love Island's on. It's not happening. So I have to keep on saying, no. D. Turley, hay fever, or you crying from the box departure? Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. Tapping Tobes, you've got some nerve. I've seen your pre-records with your hay fever. People, man, tidy yourself up. I'm just joking. I love you. I love you, you know I love you, Tobes. Good evening to everyone. Good evening, Amelia. Hope you're well and happy. Nigel D, evening top man. Good to see you. Good to see everyone in the chat here. Captain Elwood, lots of the regulars. You Tobes, you know it's true as well. That's why you know it's true. Just sniffing all over the mic. But yeah, listen, people. I'm not going to go through too many of the rumors. Obviously, if you bring them up in the chat, I'll have an answer for them if you've got any. But the main one I want to talk about is Marc Roca, but I'm going to do that in a bit. First, I want to discuss the Brenden Aaronson interview. Yeah, I've had a mixed response about the Love Island thing. I think some people follow me on Insta and like, what's all these Love Island things he's putting in his stories, man? Where's the football chat? Listen, I don't control the summer. The summer controls me. That's how it is. But yeah, Brenden Aaronson was on a US sports soccer podcast yesterday. In Soccer We Trust. I was watching that premiere live, and it was good to see a couple of the American supporters that I've got here in the chat there. And if you've seen in the comments on the video, a lot of them have replied to the comment that I gave, which is awesome. Thank you so much. But it was a really good chat with Brenden Aaronson, and I thought I'd just say a couple of the interview highlights. But go and check it out himself. He's reposted it on his own Instagram, Brenden Aaronson, so it's easy to find. In Soccer We Trust. But yeah, I thought it was a really good interview, and it's a good to see the insight of the player that we're going to be getting. And again, it's a lot different to what we've currently got. And I think we've seen that as well with Rasmus Christensen. You know, Rasmus Christensen talking about he loves to be direct. He's got passion, but he loves to win as well. This is what I like to hear. Obviously, it's all words right now. We want to see the actions, but we've got to take what we've got so far until we can actually see them on the pitch. Yeah, Gavin, it was an excellent interview. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. My comment's already there from 20 hours ago, so any bloody hacks that are going to try and act like they saw it before me, yeah, you're done. But listen, what he said, though, is they asked him if he's guaranteed to start at Leeds United, and he flat out said no, and he wouldn't expect to coming into a new team. But what he did say is that it doesn't matter who's there, he's going to be fighting for that starting spot. So it wasn't a case of do what's best for the team, do everything like that. What we see in previous interviews under the previous manager where it's team thing, he's after a spot in the team. And they were talking about if Dan James comes up to him or Kalvin Phillips. It was very interesting where he says, well, listen, that paraphrasing here, they're teammates, but I'm here to play and I'm here to do my best for Leeds United. I love hearing that. That's what I want to hear from players. I don't want to hear stuff that we'd hear from, say, and I'm not picking on him, but a Jack Harrison. You know, when you hear him talk, saw him on a thing with Rodrigo recently where they're talking about their FIFA ratings, and he's not like trying to big himself up. He's just like, yeah, that's fine. I don't want just fine anymore. I want players that believe in themselves, but he's always willing to learn as well. That's the thing that he came across as well. He's willing to learn. he sees himself in an 8 as well, which was very interesting. He sees himself as box to box. So I think he's probably had that chat with Jesse too. That's going to be interesting to see. Kerry Spragg, he'll fit right in. I think so too. I think he's gonna fit in. And Gavin saying he's happy to play box to box or attacking midfielder. Yeah, he said attacking midfielder, but not a false nine. He said that although he did do it, he found it difficult, but then found himself drifting wide, which I thought was interesting too. I just love what I heard from him. But if you don't believe me, go and watch it yourself. It's definitely worth the watch for his portion of the interview. And please tell those guys that I sent you. Tell them KG sent you. D Turley saying competition for places. We need some borderline arrogance. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. I've said it on a previous video. I think it was my pre-recorded one, but I don't. The humble guys are all well and good, and the family kumbaya business it was cute. I don't want cute no more. I want people. I want players that believe in themselves. I want players that believe that they can push themselves and the team to the next level. I'm not into this. We'll try our best stuff. I want people that think when they go on the pitch that they can win the game and not hope that they don't get beat. Big difference for me. The mentality has to change. Blinky Fish is saying, love our first 2 signings already. I'm in there too. I'm in there too. I think we are 2 for 2 so far. So all credit to him. If it doesn't work out, feel free to come back and laugh. But I think that we've recruited well so far. But we've got to keep on recruiting. He also said that De Bruyne will be his favorite player to play against, and he's looking to get a shirt. That's fair. He does have a flaw, though, people. Brenden Aaronson does have a flaw. He's a Liverpool fan. He was a Liverpool fan from the Fernando Torres days, so he's looking forward to playing against Liverpool. But, you know, no one's perfect. No one's perfect, people. No one is perfect. Raphael, excited about our future. Yeah, me too. Nathan Wright, will we actually sell a player this summer? Well, we'll see. But I'll be honest, I haven't heard one whisper of any of our players going. And that kind of tells you something, doesn't it? That except for obviously Raphinha, Kalvin Phillips, and we can touch on those in a bit. But when you talk about other players that some of our fan base rates so highly that think they should be starting in the Premier League next year, you don't hear them get linked to anybody else. That tells you something too. Also, as well with Brenden Aaronson, just to finish on that, and then if you want to hear anything else, as I say, go and check it out. He wants the number 7 or number 11 shirt. He hasn't got a shirt yet, but he's hopeful of one of those 2 numbers. Now, listen, Paveda is number 7, Roberts is number 11. Mate, take your pick. Take both. 7, 11. I don't care. Take both. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be simple to take one of those two numbers in the summer. He's got to have one. He says he prefers he likes the 11 now, but listen, he can have either one because those 2 really and truly shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be that. Neither of them should be here past the summer. So he should have a choice of them. Yeah. White Peacock, Andy, Jack Harrison to Newcastle. Yeah, that has been one, but I haven't heard nothing of that lately. I'm talking about players like some. I'm talking about some of the fan favorites that love to get defended, but are just not. They're not Premier League players. But yeah. So that's it with Brenden Aaronson, and oh yeah, somebody give me a comment as well in underneath my reply. And they said that when he mentioned about there being no egos in the USA team, that he thought that me, wouldn't like that. But there's a difference. There's a difference in that, and just briefly, I'll tell you why. Because in the USA team, they're all striving for the same thing. They want to do the best for their country, etc., etc. They're all looking for international glory together. There's a difference between that and the way he was talking about coming into Leeds United. That's where I would be a bit more worried if he was saying, "I just hope to fit in at Leeds. I want to get settled and it's things like that." But he never said that. He's looking to make an impact here. Goals, assists, he wants it all. He wants to do it all, and that's the difference for me. There's a difference in team ego for your country because USA are very patriotic, things like that. But yeah, there's a difference. I don't think he means like that. Charlie Wilkinson, apparently Chelsea want Liam Cooper. Well, listen, Mr. Leader, I'm sure he does. Harmony in the house, very, very happy with Christian signing. 60-40 on Aaronson. Hope he comes good. Wish we went in for his brother Paxton too. The lad is pure class. And again, not trying to rip off all the interview, but he did mention his brother and saying that his time will come. His brother's still at Philadelphia Union, but he says his brother is every bit as good as he is and everything else like that. So that would be interesting to see in the future. But for now, we'll concentrate on our one that we've got, our Aaronson that we have. And yeah, that's it on that one. That's all I'll say. Jacob Smith liked Rasmus's interview. He showed that mentality we need. Seems like a winner. He is a winner. He's won stuff. Doesn't matter whether it's at the Austrian level. He's had a taste of success, and he's played in the Champions League and played pretty well as well. So yeah, I hear you, Jacob. That's what I want to hear. All the nicey stuff is cool, but I need to hear people saying they want to progress and win. Now these two are coming from a team where they've been dominant in Austria, of course, but it's going to be a different thing now. But it's up to them. It's changes like that can change the mentality throughout the squad. Obviously, we need more, but changes like that are a positive one, in my opinion. Let's have a look. Nathan Wright, let me just say, Nathan Wright, Pulisic definitely has an ego. On the Aaronson goal versus Morocco, he talked about how his first touch is normal for him. Well, he's the LeBron James of soccer, remember, Nathan? I don't know if you've heard that, but apparently it's true. Let's have a look. Martin Peters. Martin, been a while since I caught a live a KG live. Hope you are. I'm great, Martin. And Martin, today I sent the shirt out to you, recorded delivery, so look out for that. Okay, you're gonna need to sign for it. But yes, so Martin, that should be you anyway. Was the competition winner, so shout out to you. Let's have a look. Right, and yes, with the transfer window open, rumors. So, Marc Roca, yeah, Marc Roca is a player that I remember from the Espanyol days. I remember he was very, very highly rated there. Very good player. One thing I will say, I think, and the rumored fee is around 10 million, I should say, 10 million. For me, that's a good deal. It's a good deal for what he is. Yes, he hasn't played a lot in the last couple of years, but he's been at Bayern Munich, and as my Bayern mate says, being behind Goretzka, Kimmich, and when he was there, Thiago, isn't like saying that you're the worst player in the world. It's just one of those things, I think, where he stepped up from the Espanyol level, gone to a huge club, and it just hasn't worked out. But for 10 million, if we can get that one done, I'd be happy with that as another defensive midfield option. I really would. Yes, he's not the quickest, but he's got a good passing range on him, loves the tackle. That's what we need in there. We need that. And he does have that elegance on him, whether it takes a while for him to get up to speed. And that's why I hope if they are going to get this one done, that they get it done very soon. So he's in for pre-season, goes to Australia with the rest of the team, etc., and do that. I think that would be the best thing if we are going to get Marc Roca from Bayern Munich. I mentioned that one because it's been mentioned by a few credible sources, hasn't just been dashed around here and there. So I just thought I'd bring that one up, and it's a midfield option that we need. Now, if he's the replacement for Kalvin Phillips, that's when I said no. That's when I would say no, because no. If we are to sell Kalvin, and just quickly on Kalvin, it seems that Manchester City are going to ramp up their interest and put in a bid. I mean, give me your thoughts on Kalvin Phillips, people. I'm interested to hear, and this is for people in the chat now and for the people watching the replay. But Manchester City's offer won't be light. It will be a good offer, and obviously he's done what he's had to do with us, and I really see the parallels with Jack Grealish here, where he's helped keep his hometown club up. He loves the club, but he wants to win trophies. He's in the England setup, England's Player of the Year. I can see him wanting the Man City move, and I'll be honest, at this point, and the caveat is heavy though. As long as we sign a player of top quality to replace him, I'm happy to see him go to Man City, for both us for the money and for him for his career. And the reason why, and Corey, you just said it there, it's gone up, but Corey mentioned about the injuries, and again, it's not his fault, but against Germany the other night, he got like a dead leg or something like that, and he hasn't trained since. Listen, for me, I've said it many times, so I can't make the exception for Kalvin, but reliability is one of your best attributes. and he's not available enough for us. Not for us, not for Leeds United. For Man City, he will be. And I've mentioned reasons why before. The reason is he won't be asked to play every game. He won't be doing as much running as Man City have the ball 90% of the time in games. He won't be playing every single game. It will be rotated, so he'll keep himself fresh. Whereas here, he's relied on very heavily. I just think at this point, it probably would make sense. I wouldn't be sad to see him stay. I just want to make that clear. But I think if he goes to Man City, he goes with my blessing anyway for both his career and for the money Leeds United receive. So just let me know how you feel in the comments about it. D. Turley, Kalvin for 60, good move for him. If we spend right, it would be a good move for us given his injury record. I agree. I do agree. Gavin Parry, sell KP for 60 and buy 3 players for 20 million each. They don't even have to be 20 million each, Gavin. It all depends on what you get. Listen, we got Rasmus Christensen for 10. You know, we could be getting Marc Roca for 10. Those are good options. If we could get more of those to fill up our squad, the bench, with 5 subs and everything else like that, hey, I'd take it. So, let's have a look. R41 Rocker will play in the double pivot, hopefully with Berger. Well, I mean Berger. There's been I've not read any whispers about Sander Berg coming for Leeds United. The one that I did see with a link from my list that I'd made a couple of videos ago was Morgan Gibbs White. Apparently, we're in a battle with Leicester and Forest and I think Southampton to get him. I don't know. Haven't seen much more about that. So I can't really say too much at this point. But yeah, it would be nice to see some links with Berg. I would, like I say, I would really love to see him here. And you would think that it won't be too expensive with Sheffield United being in the Championship for a second year in a row. But we'll see. D. Turley Warriors, we sell Phillips for 60 and buy Tyler Adams for 30. Yeah, I hear that. It's one of those where that's what I mean. The money has to be invested right. But like someone else said there, spread it around. Don't just get another £50 million player. Spread it around the team so we can plug in loads of gaps on the first 11 and on the bench. Nathan Wright, and Spain players, please God, no. Yeah, listen, I read that as well about people being, pessimistic about it because it sounds very similar to Junior Firpo, doesn't it? Did well at his previous club, goes to a big club, doesn't play too much, and then we get I can see that you really haven't played football in a couple of years player. But I think it's every transfer you make is a risk. Every single one is a risk, isn't it? Even if you buy a striker that scored 25 goals the year before, there's no guarantee that you'll score 25 in your club. So it's all a risk. But for an option in midfield, I would absolutely take Marc Roca. I really would. Let's have a look. D. Turley, if we lose Kalvin and Raph in the same window, are we not searched for a struggle next year? It depends on recruitment, D. It all depends on what they do to replace those 2 players. It doesn't mean that you have to struggle. It just means that you have to get in players in that mold. And I looked at the way Jesse was greeting Rasmus, by the way, and just body language. He was so happy to see him. It's like, thank you, a player of the quality that I'm used to. Welcome to the team. I'm so glad that you came. It gives me that kind of vibe. I don't know if you've seen the video or not of him being welcomed by Jesse Marsch, but that's what I read. Evening KG, recognize the guy at my profile pic. I can't see who it is, Liz. It's way too small. Who is it, Liz? Tell me in the chat. Gavin Parry, talk that Kiko will come back for a final year. Oh, no. Get him out. Listen, I saw a lot of you guys weren't happy with what Noah Lang said after I spoke with Michael. Listen, if you're not happy with that, you shouldn't be happy with what Kiko said. So be consistent. But now, I think what the best thing to do with Kiko is probably I don't even think it'd be that expensive, but just buy him out for last year. Get him out of here. It's just a bad vibe. It splits. It brings out the people that you don't want to bring out when you're saying, I want Kiko to stay. Just get him out of the club, man. He's no good. He's no good in any sense. I'm talking about having an experienced backup for Melier. He's not the kind of guy that I want. Yes, he's got a Champions League winner medal, but he didn't play. You know what I'm saying? He was on the bench just watching. I want somebody who's been there, done that on-field experience. And for me, Kiko isn't it for that reason and for the off-the-field reasons too. Blinky Fish, Jesse ended his holiday early to come and greet him. He did. I tell you, he just looked really happy to see him, and that's why I do believe he's going to be our first choice. I know no one says that you can't guarantee first choice. I think he's guaranteed. Let's have a look. So yeah, so that's it with the Marc Roca thing. Just trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah. Oh, and I saw as well. I read some people talking about it because he hasn't played a lot. They thought he was injured. He hasn't been injured that much, people. It's just that he hasn't been getting in the teams. When Bayern Munich are full and healthy, they're a very stacked team. So he probably just doesn't make the match day squads, in all fairness. But that's it. He doesn't really get that injured. If I'm looking online now. Don't know how accurate this is, by the way, but his injury history isn't that bad. Longest one he had was a torn ankle ligament, 45 days. I mean, come on. That's nothing. Others are just regular old injuries, tearing the abductor muscle, 23. Yeah, there's not much. So, yeah, he's not injury prone. It's just that he wasn't being selected. Oh, I see. Liz is saying KG, it's the Yorkshire PLO, had a VIP day at Ellen Road, met with Bielsa and the players. See, oh, okay, right. I see. It's Kalvin Phillips. Lovely, Liz. So I'm assuming that you probably want him to stay, right? Yes. And there's some people that have asked me about Raphinha to Arsenal whispers. I mean, oh my days. High Tech J, I need Rafa at the carpet. Ahmed, KG, the Raphinha links to Arsenal. Guys, with all due respect, and I do mean that with everything, because I've had it in my group chats today as well. I'm surprised that another guy didn't actually say something today, because he's always looking for banter. He actually thinks Arsenal are going to finish third as well. Crazy. But Raphinha isn't going to Arsenal, and there's so many reasons why he's not going to Arsenal. But the thing is, when you're those people that support top six clubs, they don't watch anything but top six football. A lot of them don't anyway. So what they do is they look at stats and they think because he's finished so low in the table that he'll be grateful to get a move to Arsenal and play Europa League. It doesn't work like that. If you see of what he actually did for Leeds and everything else like that, you'll see that he's a Champions League player. Never mind what he does for Leeds. Look at what he's doing for Brazil. Take that into account as well. He's going to a Champions League club, and whether it's Barcelona, whether they can sort out their financial issues or not, I look at other clubs that could go in for him. PSG are mulling around for a right winger themselves at the minute. I'm sure Neymar would love to see him there. Whether Mbappe would, I don't know. But yeah, Raphinha is not going to Arsenal. No chance. And I'll say it now. He's not going there. It would be very surprising to me if he went to Arsenal Football Club without Champions League football. If Arsenal got Champions League football, I'd say maybe, probably he may have gone. But no, I think he's just destined for bigger things than that. Problem is, when you tell Arsenal fans that, they're thinking, yeah, but you just lead, you finished 17th. But that's not the issue. The issue is the quality of the player and the expectation of where he thinks that he should be. And he should definitely be in the Champions League. So that's all I'll say on that Rafa to Arsenal thing. And I'll just keep it like that. D Turley, Costa has to go. Yeah, listen. We just oh no. Let me see. Some Minamino shouts here. Listen, guys, I don't think not for me. Not for me. Let me see. Minamino. I mean, listen, Pete here. Minamino is a lightweight. Would not work with our defenders. Without defenders, only playing cup competitions. The only thing for me with Minamino is, first of all, the price quoted is like 15 to 18 million. No chance, man. If Liverpool want to sell him, it's got to be for less than 10. And he scored a lot of goals for Liverpool last year in the limited time, but he was still playing with players that are much better than what we've got. So when they're saying that he got 10 goals with limited time, he may not have been playing with Salah and Mane full time, but he was still playing with Jota, Firmino. He was still playing with those guys. He'll probably still have Trent or Robertson behind him, or Simiskas, Simicas, sorry. So it's not like he was playing with scrubs. He was still playing for a very good team. And for me, I just recall the Southampton loan and I wasn't impressed. I was looking for him to do something there because I was telling Liverpool fans, especially those Coppish boys, I was telling them that he's not a Liverpool quality player. He's just not. And yeah, I just don't think, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get him. So I don't think it's worth talking about. But for me, the price quoted is way too much for a player of what he's done so far. People keep talking about Premier League proven. He's hardly done nothing in the Prem. He hasn't really done it in the Prem. What do you guys think about Minamino? Harmony Barca getting their water from a food. The thing is with Barca Harmony is that it seems like they broke one day, but then today they've signed Christensen on a free. Whether they can register or not, I don't know. But it's just confusing with them. They seem to always have a get out clause in the end. Look how they finished in the Liga. They shut up the league because they managed to get Aubameyang for free and pay him some kind of wage. It's really weird over there. So we'll just have to wait and see. I just think as long as the summer's long and Raphinha hasn't signed a new contract, we're just going to always keep getting new rumors and everything else like that. And shout out to the disabled team. Matt Davis, Pope will cost 40 million, so no Ben Foster for free. Yeah, Ben Foster, man. Let's get him in. Let's get him in. Uh, yeah, that's a good one. High Tech J, Barca are credit card rich. Yeah. Charlie Wilkinson saying, I thought that Minamino fella would be good for us, much better than that striker from the French league anyway. Is that it? Yeah, I think I saw his name today. I don't know much about him, so I'm not gonna speak about him. But the thing is, what people get blinded by though is that he's at Liverpool and he scored 10 goals for Liverpool. They're not discounting, they're not taking into the account that he will not have these Liverpool quality players around him here. And he looked and he looks normal most of the time. I watch Liverpool play. I watch them play. It doesn't look all that to me. And then when he went to Southampton, man, he's on the bench for a few games. It just not for me. Hopefully that the Rolodex is a bit larger. Now, who I would take though, um, who I would like to see here, if we could possibly get him, maybe a little loan, is Daka. Somebody on my transfer video mentioned him when I mentioned Iheanacho, and I thought, okay, you know what, that's not a bad shout. But when you see Christensen and Daka linking up, hey, let's bring it back to Ellen Road, man. Let's get the band back together. Charlie Wilkinson, KG, put it this way: would you rather have him or be stuck with Roberts again? It's a Charlie. With all due respect, that kind of question don't work on me because I wouldn't want either. I'd want better. That's my answer to that question. We shouldn't be having either of those. We should be looking to get better. And Roberts should not be here. I don't care that he signed a contract last year. Get him out of here. Just get him out of here. So, but yeah, all those would you rather things, unless we play it like the film Would You Rather, that horror film, unless we're playing with those kind of consequences, you'll never get me to answer one of those because I'll just say I don't want either of them. Simple. Ted Garron is saying Jack Aaronson will score 15 or more goals at Liverpool. Interesting. Gavin saying check the core for me. Yeah, he was one that I mentioned in my video, but apparently Crystal Palace are looking at him, Gavin. And listen, that Vieira pull is big. It's big. So you can imagine check the core looking at Patrick Vieira, remembering what a player he was and saying, you know what, London too. I'll probably go there. So I don't even think we're looking at check the core. If being totally honest, that was just my wish list. But yeah, he's a quality player, man. I really do like that guy. D Turley, good point on Daka. Hasn't settled hugely at Leicester. We should be looking at a few loans too. Yeah, we need a few loans. Um, yeah, I see you've seen it, Charlie. To be fair, that movie is great. KG razor blade to the eye, tasty. That scene is you know when he says the swear word really loud, you feel that in it because you can feel yourself in that situation where you would be exactly the same way. You're like, if I don't do it, I'm gonna get a bullet to the head. But if I do it, I'm losing one of my eyes. It was mad. I felt the actor in that thing. When I first heard it, it sent shivers through me because like I feel his pain. I feel his pain. But shout out to you, man. Yeah, I love that film. You know, it's underrated as a horror film. Really, really underrated. Really simple idea, but excellently executed. But yeah, sorry, gone on a movie talk there. But yes, a few loans. Yes, we do need a few loans. If we can get loans in, even better. We do not have to own all the players that we have. It's not a requirement for a club where we're looking to go, which is hopefully, as boring as it sounds, mid-table mediocrity. We need that. So yeah, Daka. Listen, and the reason why I would say Daka as well, D, is because those strikers rotate a lot at Leicester, and Vardy does have a few injury problems now, but there's never a settled strike force. So if they're looking at Vardy for another year, hey, let's take Daka for a year. You know, let's get him up to Premier League speed. You know, reunite that Red Bull link. That's what I'm saying. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what other names we get linked to. See who else is coming through the door. Our business is definitely not over though. So that's the exciting thing for me. Let's have a look. What's everyone saying? Carrie Sprague, what's the shirt today, KG? This is the Jonathan Quick USA of Hockey 2016 jersey. One of my favorite ice hockey goalkeepers. No, my favorite ice hockey goalkeeper. No shade to Marc-Andre Fleury. I love Fleury, but Jonathan Quick is he's just chaotic, man. Just chaotic at saves. He'll leave the goal wide open just so he can do a spectacular save. If you know who Jonathan Quick is, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, love the guy. Jacob Smith, saying Daka would have to be a loan for me. People saying it'd be 40 million for him. Yeah, 40 million is kind of mad still, considering that he hasn't really done nothing for Leicester apart from a hat trick. What was it in the Europa League? Yeah, nah. Or was it the Conference League? It's one of those two. But no, not for me. Not 40 million alone would be more than good. Gavin saying Ruben Loftus-Cheek, another one in my list, is available for around 18. Ooh, yeah. I mean, they'd have to do a stringent medical. But he seems like he's gotten over that with the amount of football he did actually play under Thomas Tuchel last year. But yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, again, somebody that gets up and down, arrives late in the box, good and strong on the ball. Yeah, I wouldn't say no to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Hopefully a bit less than 18 million though, just a little less. Ben, you're dreaming here. Manu in talks for Robertson Costa. You playing Football Manager? Dave and Origi, there's no point going on that, Dave. Just to let you know, I think he's joining AC Milan, so it's a moot point, I'm afraid. Disabled team. I'm surprised O'Brien isn't already a Leeds player yet. Well, listen, from the reports, he's not really high on the list, so there's no point talking about him. But if you're talking about players that, and I mentioned it in the last video, last time I was live, I think if you want O'Brien as a squad player, then by all means do so, because we need to beef up the bench, and potentially if he gets the experience and he's as good as he looked to be in the champ, then you've got a player on your hands. But as long as they've got other targets in mind and that it works for Leeds United and Jesse Marsh, I'm cool with it. I'm not losing sleep over not getting Lewis O'Brien. Yeah, Pete saying Marsh has to be as lethal with getting players out as getting players in. Yeah, 1000%, 1000%. And even though the Luke Ayling thing I see is like the ease off onto the bench, like see you later, Luke, onto the bench. Yeah, we do need to make a couple of player sayers this summer. And like we said already, Roberts, Costa, someone mentioned Costa, of course, that would be good. And also Mateus Click for me. There's no point keeping him around. Get him out of here to Holland or Germany. I'm sure somebody will have some interest in him. Just get him out of here. Just get him out. He's not going to do anything for you starting. Not going to do anything for you coming off the bench. It's time to move him on. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind a decent a move now. He's not suited to the Prem. He's not a Premier League player. So we do need to move some of these boys out. It is time. You're right. Harmony saying, I don't rate O'Brien makes Dan James look like Messi. Yeah, Harmony, listen, I'm not a big Lewis O'Brien fan. I do think that he'd be a good squad player at this stage. But for me, we're talking about starting. Absolutely not. I want better than that. But yeah, Harmony, Dan James, yeah, it didn't work, did it? But listen, remember my whole premise on him being a success was Marcelo Bielsa opening that 2-year-old folder he had of Dan James and ironing out the kinks in his game. Not even Bielsa could do that. So, you know, I think I can get away with that one. Yeah, exactly. Gavin, Click's still a starter for Poland. There will be takers. Absolutely. He will still have people that will take him, especially in those countries I mentioned, like Holland and Germany. He'll definitely have some suitors. We need to get some money from him, even if it's just. I mean, if you could get 5 million for him, I'd be surprised. I really would. But it's time to move some of these boys on, man. We have to. Dale Howard's evening, KG. Evening to you, Dale. Can't stand the myth that fans come out with that players we sign have to have Premier League experience. Does that mean Tyler Roberts then he's played in the Prem? Yeah, I said this before as well, Dale. It's a great point because that means that if they had heard of Raphinha, they wouldn't have wanted him either. And look how seamlessly he fit in. Look how seamlessly Bruno Guimaraes has fit in. Not every player needs time to adapt. So for me, yeah, that whole Premier League experience is a myth. I mean, when I see the suggestions that some of you guys give me, I love you guys, you know I do. But some of the suggestions make me go, ugh, ooh. Like with Milner, before Milner signed his deal, you guys were like Milner, but Milner isn't the same player that you think he is. Milner has now turned into the old geezer on the park that pulls back all the youngins and gives away bare yellow cards. That's what he is now. He's just an experienced guy in there now. He shouldn't be playing as much as he did for Liverpool. That's another topic for Liverpool to take care of. But yeah, and things like that. Some of the suggestions have to be progressive for me, and there's a bit too much looking back on other players that have been here years ago as well. Charlie, have you mentioned the Ola Aina links yet? Sorry if you have, but do you think there's anything of substance there? I haven't seen anything of substance in the sources that I go to and read and take real notice. But again, I saw the price being quoted as well. Very cheap. He's very versatile. Very versatile. I would say get him in. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player at all. But as somebody that could fill in, stay on the bench, and for the price being quoted, I think it was like something like 5 or 6 million. I'd have no problems with that at all. But I would like to see a more natural left back there rather than Ornana, because I've seen him more at right back, especially when he was at Fulham. So for me, I would like to get a more natural left back in. SBF, good to see you, KG. Keep up the good work. Good. I think I saw you in Soccer We Trust comments. Steel Chain. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, Dale Howard Milner is just finished like Delph, just hacks everyone down. Yeah, these players, man. It's not about these players anymore. Got to move on. Got to move on. Let's have a look. Matt asking, will Drame stick around now that we have Christensen? Both guys can fill in that left back. I think he will. I haven't seen any update with Drame since the one where he's talked things out with Jesse Marsh and wants to stay and fight for his place. I do believe at this point it's going to be those two for the right back berth. That's my feeling. I think it's going to be Christensen to start as he should, with the quality that he has, and then Cody Drama to be the backup. I see that happening personally. That's just from what we see now. Obviously, things can change in preseason and everything else like that. So who knows? Who knows? But that's just the feeling I've got. Let's have a look. Jacob Smith, hoping the club learns to move on from players. If you can't sign somebody, move on. Don't go back for him in a few years later after they haven't done anything. Yeah, the whole Nketiah thing. I swear, I said I'll never mention him again. But yeah, just things like that, right? Dan James, holding on to a folder of him for 3 years. we do need to move on. We do get some new targets, man. So D Turley, what do you think will happen with Cresswell? Llorente out for me and Cresswell more involved. Well, D, for me, I would actually get rid of Cooper before I would get rid of anybody else, but that's not going to happen. So I can't get in that thinking space. But for me, Charlie Cresswell, I wouldn't be mad to see Charlie Cresswell go out on loan because I don't see him starting ahead of Robin Koch and probably Llorente too. So if he's worth a loan, I would say so. I honestly believe Charlie Cresswell could start here. I do. Everything about him, he was terrific for the under 21s, by the way, the other day. The guy don't look like he's under 21. He looks like a man. And I think we need that. Imagine Charlie Cresswell and Rasmus Christensen lined up next to each other in that lineup. Who's getting through? Who's getting through? Who would want to get through? So yeah, for me, you know what? I would keep Charlie Cresswell, but if he personally is looking for more football, a loan move is the best option. I would not want to sell him at all. No chance. Do not sell Charlie Cresswell. Don't do that. Luke W. Yeah, Charlie and Rasmus would run over people. Absolutely. Absolutely. It would be absolutely insane. Insane. Let's have a look. Charlie is saying, surely Pascal and Cox starting centre backs next season. I see that personally too, Charlie. I'd love to see more Cresswell, but there's no point in being there and getting no games. Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. If he doesn't want to stay, and he wants to get some first team football, then yes, send him out on loan because unfortunately, like I said, we're not selling Liam Cooper this summer. I saw, I mean, listen, I'm not saying too much about Cooper because everyone thinks I run an agenda, but I saw the comments about him by Scotland fans after he played for him against Ukraine. I'll leave it there. I will leave it there. He had to start because Tierney was injured. That's how he gets in. Bro, it was brutal. Some of the stuff I was reading was harsh as hell. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's what Central Sporting Central UK Llorente is doing bits for Spain. He's doing well. But like I said with Llorente, I don't believe he's a bad player. He did get erratic towards the end of the season, and I cannot lie, he did. But I just think it was both a drop of form and confidence with both him and Strauch from like January onwards, where it just seemed nothing was going right for him. And the amount of goals you concede is always going to affect that too, right? I don't think Llorente is a completely bad player. There's worse players in the team than Diego Llorente. Yeah, Chris, we need to hire a double decker bus to get the dross out. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. But listen, if Llorente is to be sold once again, I think you could probably get a decent fee from him from a club in Spain. I do. So if he is to be sold, I'm not losing sleep over that one yet. I'd be more disappointed if they sold Robin Koch out of the two of those. I'd be definitely more disappointed if they sold Robin Koch. I think Koch's ceiling is way higher. Pause. But I think it's just way higher for him than it is for Llorente at this stage. And maybe Llorente might want to go back to Spain. Who knows? We'll have to keep our eyes peeled in this summer. Tom, I joined late, KG. Have you spoke about the Aaronson interview? Yeah, I did that at the start, Tom. So when this finishes, just go back to the start and go from there. Gavin Parry, Premier League too quick for him. Is that for Llorente or Cooper? Which one? Just let me know. Eamon Dawson, shame they didn't go for Tarkovsky. Desperately need a leader at the back with Cock and bring Cresswell through. I mean, Tarkovsky, listen, I think that's a Villa Everton thing. I think they're going to be bidding for, silly contract prices for him and good luck to him. I don't rate him like that. Not in my opinion. I think we've got better with Robin Koch and Charlie Cresswell. I'd take Charlie Cresswell right now. I'd take Charlie Cresswell over Tarkovsky. I'm not impressed by him at all. I think it's hype. Too much hype. Ian J, have I actually caught you live, KG? You are here live, Ian, and everything is going well so far. Harmony, how about Rafa to Real Sociedad for 30 million and Isaac? Oh, Alexander Isaac. Oh, no, Harmony. Isaac. First of all, Isaac isn't coming to Leeds United. Let's just get that out of the way before anyone thinks that I think we'd have any chance of getting him. But for me, nah, nah. And I don't think Rafa would agree to go to Sociedad anyway. Nah, not for me. He doesn't score enough goals, but that's the problem, man. That's the problem. These strikers that are being touted for huge amounts of money, they don't score goals, people. They don't score. It's actually mad. You're being quoted 50, 60 million, and you look how many goals they score. It's like, what? How much? For what? How many? 5 goals? Yeah. Tobes, this is the French striker. Well, the striker from the French league we're linked with. Albert Ellis is the striker linked with from the French league. Apparently, he's top 5 to 10% in terms of tackles and pressures for forwards, with 10 goals in 20 games for a dull team. Sounds good to me, to be honest. I don't know nothing about him, so once again, when I don't know, I will tell you I don't know, so I cannot make a comment. John F, this is a good question, actually. If Kalvin is to be sold, who is your ideal replacement for him? Man, it's so mad. I don't know about ideal replacement because I don't think you're gonna get somebody of his ilk for the money that we'll be looking to pay. But man, it's a tough one. I would. I'm not saying I would say this is an outright replacement for Calvin. So please don't quote me on this. But if we was to get Douglas Luiz from Villa, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that. I think Douglas Luiz is a real good player, and I think he's falling further and further down the Aston Villa pecking order, by the way. But I'm not saying an outright replacement for Calvin, but I would be happy if he was one of the players brought in. But the thing is with Villa, they'd probably be looking for 30 to 40 million from Leeds United for him. So I'm not sure if that's even possible. But I do like Douglas Luiz. I like his game a lot. So he's one that comes up in my head that I think is attainable. But I'd have to give that some more thought as well. But yeah, Douglas Luiz comes to mind. Sporting Central UK just saying Charlie should get himself a Sunday loan deal and come back to us for the start of the season after. Yeah, if that's the best thing, then yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there 100%. Charlie in there again. Shout out to you, man. KG, who would be your ideal striker? I did watch a stream a few weeks ago where you talked about it, but I cannot remember. Listen, you know what? You know what's funny about that as well, Charlie? Is one of the strikers' name was Skamaka, and I had no idea. I had no idea there were so many clubs looking at him. I've seen that Arsenal have had a bid rejected for him and somebody else, but apparently he wants to remain in Italy, so that would have been a non-starter anyway. But if he did want to stay in Italy, that means he would. There's no chance of getting Skamaka. So he was one. The other one was Iheanacho. Iheanacho was the other one on there, but I'm not opposed to that Patson Daka link up again. I'm not. So it would. Those are one of the three. Emmanuel Dennis is another option that I'd be happy with. Obviously, you know, we've talked about Broju before, but yeah, I'd be happy with one of those guys. But maybe the club are looking elsewhere too. So it will be interesting to see who we do bring in though. T85 evening, Dr. KG. Yeah, no doctor today, man. It's all good vibes. It's all good. Jim Atkins, there's no such thing as a replacement for KP. There is an argument to cash in if he's not going to play his best position under Marsh. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think it's a replacement. Just like Raphinha, when we sell him, it won't be an out and out replacement for Raphinha. I'd be talking about it'd be about players that I think would improve us in their absence and while they're with them being gone. That's what the thing I'm trying to get across basically. Just gonna go through some more of your comments. I wasn't planning to stand here this long actually. But shout out to all you guys. Please hit the like on the video if you haven't already. Please do that for me, people. Cryptid TV, do we need to buy a more established goalkeeper and have Melié's backup goalkeeper so we can fight for the number one spot? No, I would say that we need an experienced goalkeeper to help Meslier, but make it competitive. Make it one where the backup goalkeeper knows he's got a chance of playing if Meslier does fall off at any point. I don't see the point in getting somebody over Melier unless it's someone outstanding. If it's not someone outstanding, someone has been before, would I take Nick Pope and sell Melier? I would, but we're not going to do that. So I would absolutely keep Melier. I've got no problems with Eli Melier. I just think you need some help, especially when things get tough, and you need that with a backup goalkeeper. So yeah, I would just get an experienced goalkeeper to help him out, but can also push him as well if he knows that he's got to keep his form up. You know what I mean? Last season, we saw it, didn't we? Game after game, getting hammered, pummeled, but he knew he'd be back in the net because there's no one to challenge him. So, oh, interesting shout, Harmony. Klaassen will be better than Melier. I'm going to keep an eye on that one, Harmony. I remember you said that too. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard this as well, Tobes. Supposedly we're getting a new signing in the next week. Needs to be a central midfielder for me. We need potentially 2 or 3 of them. Absolutely, we do. We absolutely do. We cannot go light on midfield this season. We just can't do it. Midfield is so. I mean, every area is important, of course it is, but we need better midfielders than what we've got. We cannot go. If we start the season, I swear to God, if we start the opening day of the season with Forshaw and Click in midfield, we put some money down for a relegation battle yet again. Just do it. I do believe though that the club will be looking at midfielders. I think it's already been said that they are. So let's do that. Charlie saying he loves Klaassen, but that's probably Norwegian bias. I mean, listen, the main man of Norway is coming now, isn't he? Haaland's there tweeting his Man City pictures. Listen, when we get him in 2032, Erling Haaland, when we get him then, he'll probably tweet out a picture of him in a Leeds top as well. So we'll see. Yeah. Haaland 2032. Mark it down, people. Mark Atkinson, we're light at left back. We need another left back in there as well. I don't think Junior Firpo's going anywhere, so we've got to hope that Junior comes good for us this year. But I would like to see genuine competition with him, unless we do move Jack Harrison back into left wing back. That's another option that we could pursue. Again, it's going to be very interesting, people. Bowie Doctor with a bit of satire. Aaronson said he's 8.5, but I think he looks older. Charlie Wilkinson, oh man, why would you mention a Forshaw and Click partnership? If it comes to that, I am out. But that's what I'm saying. My optimism right now, Charlie, is that we won't see that partnership next season because we can't. We shouldn't. It shouldn't be here. Neither guy should, but I think Forshaw will be here because he only signed that deal in January. But we cannot see those guys starting for us in the Premier League. They shouldn't have been doing it last year, and they certainly shouldn't be doing it in 22, 23. Can't happen. So I'm with you there. Kongving bring in Sander Berge. That is my Norwegian bias. It's not bias, Kongving. I think he's a really, really good player and someone that should be here in the Prem. Whether Sheffield United are going to let him go for a reasonable amount is another question. But I can definitely see him being a Premier League player. I just can't see him playing in the Championship for another year. Now he's fully healthy. He's over that injury. I don't see how you can leave him in the Champ. I just don't. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, listen, people. See, this is what happens. James Reed being a bit harsh. Forshaw didn't put a foot wrong last year. Well, James. Okay. I know he didn't actually do much wrong, but my question to you would be, what did he actually do right? And I'm not being a smart Alec. I'm being genuinely serious. What did he do right? Because yes, his heat maps were great. He was running around, excited puppy, lovely. But when it came to quality on the ball, what did he actually give us? Not even saying goals or assists. That's not his job. But what did he actually give us? I'm talking about quality on the ball, James. Progressive passes, didn't do it. How many times did we see people being left? Dan James, even though he shouldn't have been up front, just waiting for a ball to be passed forward while Forshaw passes it back and then gives him the arm saying sorry. Saw that a few times. How many times? I mean, tackles. How many good tackles did this guy put in? James, it's just about upgrading the quality on what we've got. If you're happy with Forshaw, that means you'll be ready for another relegation scrap, because no one else in the Prem, nobody is taking Adam Forshaw. Just think about it that way too. Think about what team is going to take Adam Forshaw in their starting 11. Now is evolution. Okay, Forshaw can't even pass in a 4 direction. Yeah, he's just a heat map merchant. He's just a heat map merchant, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. That's why I think that's why, you know, I think that's, I don't want to say too much, but I will always go for quality footballers over passion merchants. I will. It's just as simple as that. I don't care how much you say that the fans were brilliant after the game, after we've been beaten 4-0, 5-0, whatever it is. I need you to be quality on the ball, and he's not that. So that's it. Pete, our midfield scoring goal last year was abysmal. Exactly. That's another thing. How many times did he arrive late in the box to even take a shot? Never mind score. I'm talking about just take a shot. It's non-existent, guys. So yeah, that's just it for me. But I hear what you're saying. He didn't do much wrong, but for me, he didn't do much right either. But yeah, listen, people, I think that's it for today. I was only gonna come on for a little bit, but you guys have kept me on here, and it's 8 o'clock, so I got to get ready for a little bit of the Love Island show today. So, I got to get myself ready and bathed and relaxed and all in the good mood for Love Island. Now, listen, people, I don't know when I'm going to be back live. Thankfully, this live went through with no hitches, I think. But yeah, listen, people, if you haven't already, please hit the like on the video. And for people watching the replay, hit a like. Leave your comments on the video of what I've discussed today. Is there any other players that you want to see, and besides the ones that we're constantly linked with, are there any other players that you'd like to see in, players that you'd like to see leave, even if it's a surprising one? Drop them in the comments and let me know. And also let me know if you do go and watch that Brenden Aaronson interview. I'll probably put the link to it in the description as well. And thank you, Ian J, for the super sticker. Much appreciated, my man from Australia. Love that. Blinky Fish, thanks, KG. And Martin Peters, hit the like for KG's Wi-Fi. Tremendous. Harmony, good night to you guys. But yeah, if there's anything in there and you go over to the In Soccer We Trust podcast, just let them know that I sent you over as well. So yeah, listen, people, much love, and enjoy your weekend, everyone. And if there's any signings on the weekend, I'll be back. But if not, peace out.